Victor, thank you very much for joining us here on TRT World. So what is the end game here? Is the ASEAN trying to completely isolate Myanmar now?
Well, certainly not. I think we shouldn't be reading too much into this because ASEAN has actually attempted to engage Myanmar in April. The military junta leader, General Min Aung Hlaing, has actually not opposed to ASEAN playing a role. He has actually released a statement saying that he wants to work with the ASEAN neighbors to achieve goals set up in the ASEAN Charter and also to achieve sustainable development. Now, so far, I think what's happening is that the ASEAN member states are frustrated with the lack of progress on what has been agreed in April. And that's the 5-point consensus that you spoke about. Out of the 5 points, I think Myanmar has not been able to make progress on at least 4 of them. There is still a certain high level of political violence. As far back as last week, they were still fighting. So we are seeing anti-regime resistance activities breaking out all over Myanmar, in Mandalay, Bago City, Saigon, Kayan, Chin states at least. We see the Myanmar military shooting activists and arresting people, as well as villagers who are, putting up a resistance against them. We see them being locked up. And we are seeing the spread of guerrilla style warfare. The Myanmar military is not actually strong enough to put down this uprising. So this is one condition that's not met. Second condition is that the amount of aid that is going to Myanmar is really insufficient. The UN estimates only about 46 or 48% of the aid that is needed by Myanmar is being raised. They are still over 50% short. There are about 250,000 people displaced because of the fighting, and the fuel and food prices are soaring. So there is a big humanitarian crisis brewing in Myanmar. But the sticking point over the meeting is that the ASEAN representative is actually not being allowed to meet Aung San Suu Kyi, as well as the other members of the National Unity Government. So in that respect, I think this violates one of the key principles of the 5-point consensus.
Right.
And for that reason, yes, the ASEAN has decided to invite somebody, a non-political representative, they call it.
Right. Now, Victor, I want to focus on the timing of this move for a second. It's been almost 10 months since the coup in Myanmar, but ASEAN never really took such an aggressive move against the military in Myanmar. So what do you think has prompted ASEAN countries to exclude Myanmar's military now?
Well, as I said before, ASEAN wants to engage with Myanmar, and this is the reason why ASEAN is saying we should invite somebody else. It's also giving the Myanmar government a chance to actually act on the 5-point consensus. Maybe a bit later down the line, if the Myanmar government is able to do so, the ASEAN governments will be more receptive. But one of the problems is that the criticisms that ASEAN face is that ASEAN as an organization is incapable of solving problems. It's all talk and no action. I think ASEAN leaders at this point would like to put up a show of unity, as well as to show that ASEAN is capable of handling problems, and ASEAN is actually relevant.
Okay.
In other words, ASEAN centrality.
All right, Victor Teo in Singapore, thank you very much for talking to us here on TRT World.